Hello and welcome to the Ecovillage Online Summit 2021. My name is Jake J. Lewin. I have been involved with GEN, the Ecovillage network, since 2013, initially through co-developing the youth arm of the Ecovillage network, NextGen, in Europe and internationally. And now I sit in the new GEN International Steward Circle, as well as in my personal work, working in organizational and personal development and growth. My time is split between the Findhorn Ecovillage in Scotland, where I grew up, and various other communitarian projects around the world. I am joined here by Cora and Charlie from the Los Portales Ecovillage in the south of Spain. Los Portales was founded there by a diverse group of people to be a medium for creation and evolution, taking inspiration from Jungian psychology, specifically its core concepts around dreams. It has existed for almost 40 years now and grown into be a well-known example of in my opinion, truly holistic eco-village project through their work in their own project and support in the wider eco-village movement as being a part of the GEN Europe network, as well as the Iberian Eco-Village network, RIA. Charlie has been with the project since its beginnings in Belgium and moving it to the community to build it up in Spain in the early 80s. And Cora started as a volunteer a few years ago and is now new energy into the community, obviously is a core and trusted member by being on this interview. Welcome to both of you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. It's been around GEN and hearing about Los Portales many times, few opportunities to go there, never making it, seeing you around conferences and events, Charlie, but never really having a time to just actually get to know about you and your community. Yeah, I'm personally very excited.
Fine.
Hello. I've introduced you both very briefly, but I thought to start, it'd be wonderful to hear from both of you a bit more from each of you about the community, what brought you there, what's kept you there over the years, or why you've decided to get involved so recently. If you have a future in the community, how you see that looking. As being a part of NextGen, the topic of the younger and the elders in community has been quite a large topic for me. So I like that there is, at least apparently to me, an age gap in some way.
Only from the outside.
Yeah, not in spirit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will start. Yeah, so my name is Cora. I'm 36 years old and I live in the community since 2.5 years. But as Jake said, I came here first time in 2012 as a student because I had to do my internship at university. And I chose this community, Los Portales, to do my internship because I was already with the idea that I would like to live in a community in the future. And I actually wrote my thesis about Los Portales at the end after being 3 months here. And I focused it on sustainability and ecological sustainability and also social sustainability. Because after being here for 3 months, I really was more impressed on the social sustainability that people have established here. And I got hooked onto the dreamwork, and I just couldn't imagine myself not interpreting my dreams anymore after being here for a while. And yeah, well, after my time as a volunteer here, I came here with my partner and our son. He was 1.5 years old when we came here first time. And until we actually decided to move here 2.5 years ago, we always came back and went back to Germany. And yeah, we were sort of already in connection with Los Portales. So we were trying, well, we got to know a few other communities in Germany, but we were looking for Los Portales in other communities, for this spirit of Los Portales, for this energy. And we couldn't find it anywhere else. So we decided to give it a go and to come here. And I'm really, really happy. And I can say that my whole family is really happy being here. And I'm dedicating myself to everything that has to do with ecology. Since 1 year, I'm part of the garden team here at Los Portales, and I also do a lot of ecosystem regeneration work here. We do reforestation, we do water retention systems, and everything to improve the ecological part of the community. And I'm really passionate about it, and I see that there's a lot of potential here and already a lot of things done, but I'm really enjoying it. And I don't know.
Small follow-on question. I'm curious to know, are those skills that you brought with you to the community, or did they ones you learned there? And if you brought them with, where your experience came from?
Okay. I studied in close to Berlin, and I studied, my bachelor was International Forest Ecosystem Management, and I did a master after that was Global Change Management. So I already come from a ecologically basis, let's say. And all the aspects about gardening, for example, I didn't know much about it, and I learned everything here. But all the aspects about forestry and ecosystem regeneration, I learned part of it in the university, but that was all like theory. And here I really can implement what I know, and I'm learning a lot of new stuff. So I'm really, as I said, I'm really enjoying it. It's very diverse, and
and we enjoy it too, because we got a lot of vegetables, a lot of food. It's amazing. And during the COVID period, we were completely isolated. She brought us a lot of food. We were able to be self-sufficient with all the garden of Los Portales. It was really great.
And the team, huh? Team. It
not
wasn't
only
me, it was the team. But we realized that during the lockdown, it was even more important to have a big garden and a producive garden, and but well, we're already going deeper. I don't know, maybe you want to introduce
Charlie?
As you said, I was here from the beginning. In the late 70s, I was a very a very young one. Now I'm 61 years old, so like almost 42 years in the project. It's my life, I mean, I would say.
Yeah.
And when we started, at that moment, it was just a dreamwork circle back in Belgium. And then little by little, this project we created a dreamwork group community. And then little by little, it became more and more real. It became a house. It became this Los Portales project over here with a land. And we are really deep in it. It's like creating both together with the land and with every one of us. So but little by little, and I never dreamt that I would live here in Ecovillage. Never. At that moment, I was just interested by dreams, what they meant, how work with it, and then it came up, all this story, and then when we look back, we say, "Wow, what have we done?"
Yeah.
And it's amazing because it's a never-ending story, the dream work, because we're still working with it. We just spent a 1-week retreat working all together with our dreams, and it's still very alive and very powerful.
I heard a bit about, or got a bit of an image of what Cora, your daily life might look like, but what about you, Charlie? Is it all just dreaming and writing it down?
That's me.
You didn't give
actually, I'm in Los Portales. I'm working with the communication part, all the internet network, and social network too. From one part, but I'm a French teacher, so also, and I'm still working part time.
So you keep yourself busy in community and your rest of your stuff.
Yeah, and also in sociocracy, I'm a trainer in sociocracy. We've got a training here, and at the same time, because in Los Portales, you've got. I'm working with the technical team. I'm working in the kitchen. I'm cooking. Well, it's like, you know, the community life. It's
community life. I mean, I know it. Maybe not everyone watching. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, it's community life. It can. There's almost always something to do. I think it's, at least from my experience, it's more harder to find time to do nothing than find something to do. Thank you. It's great to hear that. On both, what stuck out for me on my research, and obviously from what you've been sharing, is the prevalence of dreams within the field of your community. What you I mean, it sounds like it's a big part of not only what you focused on, but it's a big part of your community life at the moment. But I think I'm curious to know how that actually looks in regards to your daily life, how it comes out in your social structures, or is it in how you deal with conflict, or the way, is it just how you look to the future? I mean, dreaming for many people is a very abstract thing. So, but it sounds to you like it's very concrete, it's a tangible thing. And I'm curious what that actually, looks like.
We'll start.
Yeah, I start. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe just on how it is integrated in our daily life. For example, we meet once a week, the whole group together, and it's like a 2.5 hour meeting, and where we share our dreams, and we interpret our dreams, and we give ideas on what the dream could mean, and how to like connect it with our daily life, like what could this dream show us, and how could we apply the message of the dream in our real life, like how can it help us to bring some consciousness in our daily life. And apart from this once a week meeting, we also do deep listenings, and we do the deep listenings as in we are, how do you say that, chosen by chance. Yeah, there are always 2 people together, or 3 chosen by chance, and anytime we want, during the week we can do our deep listenings, and we share our what we are experiencing at the moment, how we're feeling, but we also share our dreams. So this is already like pre-working our dreams that we then later share in the big dream group. And and because it's chosen by chance, it's super interesting, because we are always you're always with a different person, and you don't choose that person. So maybe I mean, we live here together, but it doesn't mean that everyone is my best friend, let's say. So I have people that I get along better, and I have others that I get along not so well, let's say, or I have more difficulties with. But this opportunity of deep listening gives, it just open up a space to share with everyone, and to listen to everyone, and I
would say that when you share dreams, it's a very intimate place. And also, and it's very vulnerable. You put yourself in a very vulnerable place, because say, look, that's all me, with what I know, what I don't know of myself. And when you do it in a small group, and each one of us does it, it means that really we share moments that we start to understand the other one, very diverse, and the other one has got his own or his or her problems or difficulties or struggling. And it's very, it builds up community, because we start little by little to understand that it's not only the see we thinks about the others. We can talk about the shadows, but also like sometimes I can't stand that guy. When you see that person that you don't like very much, and you see his or her struggles, what she's experiencing, you say, oh my God, who am I to judge him or her? So from the beginning, I had this feeling that it created bridges to get over the bad feelings, so I don't like him, or I've got a conflict. I could have a lot of conflicts, but then when I was listening to them and I say, oh my God, they are more than just this little piece that I hate. Yeah, but it's like this, that you can little by little build this sense of community, and also because it brings it's like a commitment. Each one of us say, okay, I will work with myself. I will, of course, I will have fights. I will have discussions. I will have problems. But my commitment, I will try to make it better. I will try to understand what's happening with myself, and I will take back my part of the conflict. And each one of us does that. So little by little, we create a more diverse community, a more planful community.
Yeah, when I was hearing you talking, Cora, it was exactly that I was thinking about. It's like, man, like for most people, their dreams are like it's a really private thing. Like it's their dreams. And anyway, in society, it's like our fantasies or dreams. People have a lot of questions, can maybe even feel shame about them. And then I was thinking in a communitarian context, sometimes the only space you can have to yourself is when you go to sleep. That's when it's just you.
We're even sharing that space.
And then I'm like listening to you and I'm like, man, even when they go to sleep, they then take it out into the community and put it out there. Like it's really this, yes, as you said, this vulnerable act of putting it all out into the space. Wow, yeah, it's got me.
And when you start understanding the language of the dreams, you can see dreams as an own language, let's say, no. But if you start understanding your own dream and the dream of the others, I think it's even getting more personal, because then it's not only you sharing like an image that you had, and you might think, oh, that was crazy. I was flying around and I don't know, something was happening, no. But if you actually start understanding what it means, then it's even more personal, and you can make yourself even more vulnerable, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you're making, yeah, I don't know, you're really showing all your parts, everything that you have inside, and at the same time you're integrating more of your parts, because the dreams show everything you are. And you might not even know that you have that part in yourself, but your dream shows it to you. And when you understand how to analyze it and how to understand it, you're suddenly like, oh my God, yes, this is also a part of me, no? And you learn that through your dream. And maybe it's something that it's really difficult to learn it in like in your daily life, and in daily conflicts that you have. But when you look at it through your dreams, it's like it goes deeper, and there's like a different understanding of it. And that's for yourself, but also understanding the other person in a different way, and seeing more of the other person than just what you want to see, or what you don't like, or what you would like to see, the projections that you're doing on the person.
Do you find that you talked about there, it's about when listening to someone's dream, it might be about them, but you might also find stuff for you. Do you find that through these processes, you also find stuff for like sort of for the community, almost as a third entity in that? And
yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Some dreams that are really resonating with the whole project, and they are bringing
dreams,
yeah. Or what we are feeling right now as a collective, and someone will bring a dream and say, oh my God, that's exactly where we are right now, all together. So it's really also for the next step, for example, what will we do? Sometimes a dream will come and we say, oh my God, that's exactly what we need, or where we want to go.
A lot of what we've talked about here is like or hearing you share about, it's the finding new information, or the things that we didn't see. And you mentioned projections, and you mentioned the word shadow, Charlie, which is like the concept of a shadow in a person is also another key element or core thing to come out of Jungian psychology. Maybe to say a shadow not necessarily being the dark or the bad, but it's the unseen part of ourselves. It's which if not brought into the light consciously, can get up to naughty or mischievous things. Because if we can't see it, then so in my work, I would say I've found that a lot of the communities where, if I'm asked to come into a community as much as with a person, if things aren't working smoothly in the place, then the thing I look for is, okay, what's hiding in the shadows? Not what people are saying is the problem, but what are they ignoring or trying not to deal with or talk about? It's what's in the shadow of the way the community communicates or whatever. And it strikes me that with this work, it gives you a lot of skill to be able to maybe identify and see these things and work with them. And yeah, so I'm curious, I guess it's like, have there been some specific shadow things you found that have presented challenges when working with this specifically? Or has it all just been smooth sailing? Or yeah, like
Never. No, because it's amazing, because sometimes we're feeling good or bad as a person, but also the project, the community also can feel good or bad. And so it's like day by day life, it's never finished. For example, we had a very nice moment when we start building this project. We did for ourselves. I mean, we were living together. We create this project. We start building this house, and we thought that it would be better to stay apart and live very nicely out of the system, more or less. And then we realized that there was a huge call to get out, we wanted to be useful outside, but it was like a struggling, because the part, oh, I'm fine here, I don't want to be bothered with that. And at the same time, yes, but we need to go out to do something more, because we need to feel really complete. So there was that, for example, that's one of the shadows. And it didn't come with a dream. It came with a building that fell down. We started building it, and then one night it fell down. It was with straw and collapsed. And say, oh my God, what's happening? So we start working on that, and we understood that a part of us didn't want to go out and to be able to receive people and to go out and talk about and be useful. That was a kind of shadow.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. That it's I noticed that like all over most of on the website, or at least when I was looking around, you feel at least publicly very comfortable using the word eco-village and talking about yourself as an eco-village, which is not always the case from my experience. That communitarian projects or permaculture projects or intentional communities or whatever sometimes don't always feel such a calling or find it so easy. And I think that sometimes it's this fear of being associated with things, and I hear that now, but I'm in you talking about, oh, do we go out? Do we just go do our thing? But I'm curious then, it's like, what shifted then, or what did encourage you to go out? Why what is there a attachment or a connection you feel to the word eco-village? And is it connected to that in some way?
Well, I would say that at one point we realized that it would be very selfish to go on with our little lives and say, okay, we are fantastic, it's a real good life, we've got our children, our land, fantastic, but we need to step out and do something more. And it was really a call, not only from personal call, but also a collective call, like the call of the soul, or the Los Mortal spirit, saying, hey, look, guys, it's not only for you, you should do something with that. And so we started to connect with the networks, with the Iberian network, and also the Gen, of course, and
yeah.
of course, and locally too, we started to connect with, for example, with Sevilla. It's very close to our project, and we've got really strong connection with the city, with people over there that want to make a change. And so we started to understand that the diversity we had inside because really we want to embrace the diversity of all beings, not only human beings, but also the land, all this trees, and also with outside, with the diversity of project. When we entered in the RIE or in the Gen, we realized that we were not alone. There was a lot more project, and each one has its own singularity, and each one has got its own way to answer the problems. And so we could learn a lot, and really we learned a lot, because you were more like in a human permaculture. And then we realized that at other levels with the land, we were not that good. So we started to learn from other people, and for example, Cora came and we started to work on the land, how to protect it, how to restore it. We realized for the economy that we should also bring more tools in the way we work. And so it was like really embraced not only the human diversity, but also all those project diversity.
I don't know.
And yeah, and really this idea that I'm just one part of the solution. I don't have the truth, but the whole truth is when everyone is bringing his own part of the solution.
Yeah, but and just we are one part of the solution, but if we stay isolated from everything, we can't contribute to the solution. No, that's also one part of why we want to be connected with the outside, why we are changing informations. People come here and show us, we go out and show them. No, it has to be, this is part of the solution. No? And if we would stay here isolated in our little community, I don't know, I think at one point it's like a sort of a higher call for you. This is not everything, just living you and your greater, bigger family together and being all happy, not being all happy, because we have our conflicts. But it's like, okay, but we learn to live with all this diversity of people, and we learn to acoger, to accept all this diversity of everyone and how to deal with it. And I think that is something really useful, no? And then when you see in other places there is conflicts and maybe it doesn't work as well, or you see, oh, they have a different solution, and it would be interesting to see how they are doing it, no? And that's how you start interchanging with other communities, other projects, other organizations, and it's always an exchange, no? It's like always we are learning something from them and they can learn something from us. And
also we've got just after this program that I talked about last time, there's this we brought volunteers to help with the woofing system, and they were like it was like a lot of resistances, because you say, oh my god, they are coming in into our houses, they are coming doing things differently. So it was like difficult for us to do. And then we are working with European volunteers, long term, like 6 months or 1 year program, ESC program, Erasmus Plus 2. And it's really nice to see that they come here and they've got, in 1 year, they can have their, it makes a difference. Because they come here and they start to understand things, they start to learn, they create their own community spirit together, all the volunteers, they have own experience, and they've got their own dreamwork circle, their own exchange. And it's really nice to see that it's like seeds that they come here, they bring, they take information, and I know that they will go out bringing all this information to the world. So it's nice.
I would like to add something there for your question about the shadow. I think it's, I don't know, it's something I experienced as a new community member, let's say, and I think it's what happens to everyone joining a project or joining a community or whatever. It's like this big shadow of how you're projecting the difficulties that you had in your family, how you project these difficulties into a community, actually. No, and I experienced it when I came here as a volunteer, and I was like with energy and like motivation to do stuff, no, and then suddenly they say no, it's not possible, we're not doing it this way. So I directly like, what? Why not? You know, is this a great idea? And I felt like there are some parents who are telling me, no, this is not how you can do it. You have to do it differently. Here we do it that way, no? And there was a lot of resistance in myself in the beginning, until I understood that I'm acting like a child with my parents, you know, instead of really occupying my space as an adult and also as an apprentice of this project in the beginning, no? Like, okay, before I criticize or before I want to change something, I first have to understand how everything is working, why they're doing things like this and not in a different way, and maybe they have tried it already and it didn't work or whatever, you know. But trying to understand first and putting yourself in the position of, okay, I'm learning right now and I'm trying to understand, and when I understand and when I have the big picture of everything, then I can start I don't know, maybe changing something or giving ideas, and they are much more accepted when I really understand everything, no? Instead of, oh, I'm here for a few months and I think this is not well done, so I tell you how to do it better, let's say, no? This is I don't know, not working like this, no? And I think this is one of the shadows that we are experimenting here, but that you can experiment everywhere, no? Your way of how you're acting when you're joining a new project or a group or whatever, it's the way how you're projecting your beliefs, the way you grew up into this project, no?
Yeah.
But it's a projection and it's not real. But when you're becoming aware of what you're doing there, then you're like, oh, okay, I have to take a step back and start from a different angle, let's say, no?
It's interesting what, like, hearing it reminds me about something that I noticed on the website, which was that both on the Gen website, on the map where you have your information, and on your own website, I think you just say, yes, we're accepting new members. Something like the way it said, like, oh, we would like you to do, maybe it's a good idea to do an experience week first, or we would like that first, and then if you're serious, reach out to us. And I was reading it, I was like, man, I think I can't think of another community that's as old as Los Portales that seems to be so open to new people joining in such like an easygoing way. Like, if I think of places like other more older communities, let's say Fintorn, where I grew up, or maybe somewhere like Damanhur or Zeg or Tamera, so the big communities, some of them are either technically closed to new members, or their joining process isn't actually so much of a joining process. It's like a long, drawn out process of being a guest and just slowly creeping towards it. Like in Fintorn, the foundation, at least, you only become a member once you've been a guest for a very long period of time, and then you can apply for staff positions, but you still need to get the staff position. Although it's going through a transformation stage. And it's interesting to hear, like, then how you deal. I wonder how much of then this process of dreaming and like shadow work, it sounds like it's sort of built into how then new people join, because you don't need as much structure when it's built into the sort of culture of the community itself to keep an eye out for these things.
I wouldn't say so, because, for example, we started with Socracy 5 years ago, and we realized that it was very great for us to clarify all the day-to-day life and to put things in order. For example, so Socracy is fantastic for us because it separates the day-to-day life, and it really empowers people all around. So it put it visible, so we know how it works. And Socracy is fantastic for that, organizing things. And so also it will clarify the difference between the inner work and the day-to-day work. So it's like it's easier. But yes, I think it's also very important to have this structure visible, so that we, for example, Cora is in the garden agriculture circle, I'm in the communication circle, and so each one will work, and we know that. And for the new members, actually, what the first step is the commitment to an inner work. That's the base, and then it's not that fast. It's quite slow. I would say it like
it's a long process.
It's a process,
we have here as well.
Okay.
For several years, actually.
Yeah, several. But at the moment, but people say, "Oh, I want to start." And I say, first have an experience to see if you really, it's like love at first sight. It's different that than living together for a life. So let's and we want to go with the persons and to help him, because we know that it's not that easy, and we know that the struggles and the problems, and we want to do it as smooth as possible, and also to avoid that that after a while they would have conflict or problems. We prefer to say, okay, no. For example, we can see that it won't work, but to do it the best way we can.
Yeah. But it's like a relationship, no? It just comes to mind. Being in living in communities is like a relationship. At first, you fall in love with it, with the person or with the community, and you have a few months that are beautiful and oh wow, this is amazing. And then suddenly you find out like the negative aspects of the person or of the community, no? And then it's the point where it counts. Either you start looking at what's going wrong here and what's your part of what's going wrong, or you just say, no, I'm perfect, it's just the fault of the community and they are not doing it well, and you're leaving, let's say, no, you're going into separation. And the inner work, the work with the dreams, actually helps you, as we said in the beginning, no, to look at your own part of the conflict, and then it's like, it's really the hard work starting, you know. And the same as in a relationship, if you choose to be together, if you choose this community as your community, then it's a commitment and it's hard work, and it's looking at yourself and what's your part of the whole thing, you know, the whole system. And
but it's fun too,
and it's a lot of fun at the same time. No, it's a lot of very enlightening processes, no? But and we do the experience week here, but after that you have to spend time as a volunteer here as well. After being a volunteering, having done the experience week, you come as a temporary member, but that will be at least like 1 or 2 years as a temporary member until you might become a full member, and that's still like in steps, you know. It's not like
just to allow at each step the ability to go out, to stay or to go away. And we prefer it this way, so that people can feel comfortable. It's not like, okay, I'm stuck here for a long time, or
And the real difference here is that we're really like, we are dedicated to the inner work. So it's part of the game, let's say, and it's a commitment, no? And at one point when there is maybe also stuff coming up, personal stuff coming up, that's not so easy for you to look at it, no? But then it's the question: do you want to stay and go through it, or you decide to let it go and you go, no? And it's not like, I want to live in a project, in a community, it's going to be great. I can do my own stuff there in the garden, and the others do their own stuff there in the kitchen or in the communication area. No, it's really all connected, no?
But at the same time, we've got, I would say, friends that will come here to spend time with us because we love each other, but they won't stay because say, I'm unable to live in this project for a long time, but they will come back, and it's like permeable, right?
Do you have, you spoke about, well, do you have people within like the local area, sort of a wider community of people who were part of the community and left but stayed close by, or people who move in around you to be close but they don't want to be really in, and things like that?
Yeah, we got former members that would come back from time to time. We got also very strong contact, as I said before, with people in Sevilla, that they say, okay, we love you, but we wouldn't be able to live in the place, but we love you. And we've got a lot of contact. There's a project called Sevilla Consciente, conscious Sevilla.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to bring in the city this idea of changes, and it's really nice.
Mm.
It really sort of, through everything you were saying, it really struck me this this sort of like almost like breathing, this like going inwards, and then as soon as you get to a certain point of inwards, then you went out. It was like going in, this project is about us and our development. And at some point you were like, whoa, we're doing this. It's getting to the point of almost selfish, like we need to look out. So then you go out and then you actually get inspired and you start bringing things back in again. And this constant in and out, even with when talking about having new members coming, you're talking is like, okay, well, that they come here, they bring things, but then it's also about, once they get here, they have to go in and they have to see their own process. You, Cora, talking about recognizing when there was that struggle in the community, going inside and realizing where you're projecting or whatever. Yeah, I think that's that's a difficult balance to have, I would say. So I'm quite inspired by that. And then one other sort of thing that ties into this is the sort of that we've touched on as well, is like within Jen's description of an eco-village, is it talks about like a holistic approach to sustainability. For a lot of people, sustainability is very much tied to what we would call ecological sustainability, is recycling, gardening, compost, windmills, things like that. Within the eco-village movement, we try to have this more sort of 5 segments of it, dimensions. It's ecological, economical, social, cultural, and then within Gen, we have this 5th one, which is holistic. So then it's specifically working on tying them all together. I was quite impressed when looking online how you seem to have a lot to talk about each area, which is not always the case. And was that like a conscious decision at some point to really work on balancing them all out, or how did you get there?
Not exactly. When we started to we were not quite ecological at the beginning. We were just working more on the dreams, and we were living in the city, and we were like having all day-to-day life, normal life. And then when we started to come here, it was completely off-grid. There was nothing. So we have really to build up everything and to start understanding how it works with the connection with the land, and also the economy. It was very interesting because we couldn't do it all by ourselves, one-to-one. We have to, all together we could do it. And we built everything, people working outside and bringing energy to bring the walls and whatever, and we needed here. So there was this constant exchange between outside and inside, and it was like really a common gift. Give economy. Like I will give what I can, and I will take what I need. This idea from the beginning. For example, but it was not like something that we planned, and it was like more. I would say that the Los Portales community spirit taught us all that. As when he had this connection with this community spirit, he brought us learning all the steps that we needed. And for example, about organization, we realized that it was like not very clear. So Socrates appears at that time. So, okay, my God, fantastic, that's what we need. And I had this feeling that all along the way, we learned with the project all the things. And you're right. I think that right now we're more balanced with all this. At the beginning, we were not very ecological. We must say it. But then the land told us, "What are you doing? Come on, please." And more we connect with the land, and with more respect, and we try to really work to co-create with the land.
Yeah, but it came with the dream work as well. No, it's sort of, it's like I don't know if you want to, let's say, heal yourself, but you're treating bad, like you're not treating well the environment. Like, how do you want to treat yourself well if you're treating bad the environment? You know, it's like we're seeing the connection there, and we're seeing that to feel better, you have to, and like nature is a tool as well. You know, nature is a tool to heal yourself and to make yourself whole again. So we have to treat nature with respect as well, and respecting nature is like ecological gardening, renewable energies, and all this kind of stuff, you know. And also I don't know, for the economy, you know, your relationship with money, it's also it all reflects on how you are feeling inside. And so I think this is why all the pillars of the 5 pillars are very important here in our community, which doesn't mean they are all perfectly developed and all,
not yet,
I don't know, but we are on the way, you know. Like I would say.
But I would say that from the beginning, what we had is the beauty. Life, bring beauty into life, in the space, but also in your own life. Even if we have to spend I don't know 80 years on this earth, we should bring beauty in every day. And in Los Portales, we've got this. That's very important for us. This sense of beauty.
Yeah, I think it's something you said there. It also mirrors something on the web. So you said we're not there yet, and it's something that I saw on the website as well. I can't remember exactly, but it was about it's like not wanting to be at the end already. It's about it being part of the journey, which for me is what an eco-village is. Someone asked me recently to define an eco-village, and I said, for me, it's not a thing that you can become. It's actually more of a verb. It's something you do. Like you do eco-villaging. So it's to hear it, for me, I think it's good to acknowledge that we're not there yet with anything, because it's like how can we be? We're almost out of time, but I'm wondering, Cora, specifically, if as you're newer there, there's still I think maybe you see things as maybe more likely that you notice things. So I'm wondering if there's anything that I haven't asked about or mentioned that you think I should have or could have, that you'd like to share about for a minute or two, to do with Los Portales.
To do with Los Portales. That's the most difficult question. I don't know. Spontaneously, what comes to my mind is actually the beauty Charlie was talking about. He mentioned it, but I think it's this spirit that we noticed when we came here the first time, and that we connected with this spirit. And it's really difficult to put it into words, but it's just like an energy here. Just it's like a way of living, of how like seeing life, that just called me, and I don't know, and it's like something bigger. I don't know, something bigger that I can't explain, that I feel here in Los Portales, and it has to do with the dream work. It has to do with this, let's call it social sustainability, that we are living here, that we are trying to live here, no? And for me, it's really like it's a way of growing, and I feel it every day, and I feel that I'm supported with by the other members of everyone living here, and I think I couldn't do all my path or the way I'm walking, I couldn't do it without the community members, and I couldn't do it without, I don't know, without this place here and this energy. And I can feel as a new member that this energy is it's from the past as well, you know. It's like all this work these members, old members have done. No, I'm making a joke. No, but I mean, I can really feel the whole the camino, the path they have walked already, you know. And I'm joining them on their path, and that's I don't know. And I'm super happy to be able to join this path and to build on what they have built already, you know. And I think I can really feel this here. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I would say that's exactly the point for me. That's to be able to renew ourselves every time, so that, for example, new members as Cora and Jan and are coming, and they still feel that they are part of the project, and they can really bring something new. And because sometimes it's very once a project is completely built, it's very difficult to enter in. So no, that's the way we do it. And here we have the feeling that it's never finished. So
there's no end. Yeah.
No end. So some things are already done, but there is still a lot of things to do and to change and to modify. So like, and I like it. It's like, and there is also a very young energy in here.
Yeah, and it's like there's no end of this project. No, we can't say like when we've done this, it will be finished and the project is complete. You know, I think it's what I feel with our arrival here is like I can really do a lot of things here, and I can the base is what the community has done until now, but I can still like really develop a lot more, and I can develop myself and sort of there is nothing fixed, you know. There is nothing decided like this is how Los Portales has to be. It's like every new person coming sort of brings their own energy and can change a few things. So it's like a project of the collective, you know, and everyone in this collective has an influence and changes little things. And yeah, so for me that's like it's organic. It's all organic.
No, I should have asked that question halfway through. I feel like I just have like a million more questions in my head.
Oh.
running out of time. So I would segue on to the next thing, which would be, is there anything that's going on in the community at the moment? You mentioned about how you do have offerings and you have volunteers sometimes coming. Obviously, at the moment, a lot of that must be quite disrupted, but are you doing different things in COVID times? Do you have plans upcoming in the summer? How do people find out more about all of that, what you're doing? Yeah, that stuff.
Summertime for us is very, very, very hot. That's this moment. Normally, we don't see people. We see people don't come in summer because it's too hot. Come in springtime or in fall, but not in summer. And for example, for the volunteers, we still go on with the Ripper and community the project, and we've got those experience week. Normally, next one will be
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe but it's a very small one with children.
Yeah,
but normally we have twice or 3 times a year. We've got this week of experience.
Where do people find out about that?
On our website, on our Facebook page.
Okay.
losportales.net.
losportales.net. Great. Or on Facebook. Or on the Gen Ecovillage map. That's
exactly.
I found a lot of information. Okay, I think that's it. So thank you very much, both of you.
I think we should show off a little bit, no?
Thank you very much, both of you, for your time and your questions. And yeah, that's it for now.
Okay.